over 6 years, I consumed every single piece of content about filmmaking, cinematography, and content creation. I enrolled in courses, I watched thousands and thousands of YouTube videos, I tried to implement dozens and dozens of content frameworks and strategies. I literally studied this craft obsessively. But during all that time, I ended up posting zero video. If this sounds familiar to you, if you're someone who has been watching other people online build amazing things and you felt like you want to do the same, but for some reasons you kept telling yourself that you will wait until you get ready, this video is for you. My goal in this video is to show you what 6 years of waiting to get ready actually ended up costing me. But also I want to show you why the thing you're calling preparation or getting ready is the most expensive habit or decision you will ever make. So everything started 6 years ago during the COVID lockdown. Since I was at home and couldn't go to school, I spent most of my days watching YouTube videos. And that's how I discovered the likes of Casey Neistat, Ali Abdaal, Alex Hormozi, Mati Apoya, and so on and so forth. And I instantly fell in love with what they were doing. See, these guys weren't just YouTubers, but they were the proof that someone can actually build communities, create amazing stuff, but also make a lot of money creating content. I was very excited and I told myself that this is what I want to do. So I naively went into deep research, how to film, how to edit, how to script, what camera to buy, what lights, what tripod, what anything. SEO, color grading, sound design, lighting, scripting, storytelling. Oh, there is also thumbnail design, writing the right description, writing the right caption, writing the right title, designing thumbnails in Photoshop. I'm talking about thousands of YouTube videos at this point. I was really deep into the research because I was convinced that this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. But despite all that, I hadn't made any video yet. Because the thing is, every single video I watched was another reason to wait until I get ready. But that cycle never ended. And so what was happening is that I was just building smarter and smarter excuses for not starting. And so one day, after watching another dozens and dozens of videos, I sat down in my bedroom and had to face the reality. I convinced myself that this thing is just not for me, because if it was for me, then it just couldn't be this hard. And so I made what I thought was the best decision back then. I quit content creation before even I started creating and went straight to university. A few weeks after that day, me and my young brother moved to Uganda. We looked for an apartment, and when we were set, we went straight to the university to register for our different courses. My young brother picked IT and I ended up picking computer science. The reason behind my choice was just that I was trying to convince myself that if I cannot create films, if I cannot tell stories with my camera, I can do something which is somehow similar to creating, which is coding. And that's why I picked computer science. And so for the next 4 years following that day, I was obsessed with coding, building softwares, trying to solve other people's problems, yet my own problem was still hanging somewhere in my head. But to be honest, whenever I found some free time, maybe in the weekend, I could go back on YouTube to watch the same creators creating amazing videos. But at the same time, I watched new creators who started approximately the same period like me, building amazing communities, landing brand deals, traveling all over the world, but also making crazy revenue, doing what they love. I was heartbroken. Not because I'm jealous, but because that's the kind of life I promised myself to live. Yet I found myself somewhere in a foreign country doing something that I deeply didn't really like, but just trying to convince myself that I could replace content creation with something else. But then I had to face my reality. I had made my choice to do computer science, and so I had to finish what I started. Fast forward, I ended up graduating with, ironically, a first-class degree in computer science. My parents were very proud. They flew into the country, they came with some aunties. They threw up 2 parties because it was my graduation and my young brother's graduation. They were very proud. I could literally see it in their eyes. So everyone came in happy, we ate, danced and everything. And we reached a point of the party where my aunties and some close relatives to me started asking me questions about my plan for the future? Am I going for a master's degree, then a PhD degree, then become a lecturer, or maybe I'm getting a job in a corporate company? So at the very moment, everyone was enjoying his life, right? So I tried to, give them some reassurance that I'm going to do master's degree and whatever. The truth is, they thought they were doing the right thing, but all they did was just reminding me of the question I kept asking myself for the past 4 years. Like, is this really it? Like, is this the life I want to live? Is this the career I want to follow? Is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? And so for the entire month following that party, I spent all of my days asking me the same question over and over again. But also, I couldn't share it with anyone because remember, I just graduated, so I couldn't come and tell people that I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Because everyone was convinced that after that is master's degree, then PhD, then eventually land a job in a corporate company. And so one day I sat down, managed to call my parents, my father and my mother, and try to discuss with them about everything. And that day, I requested for one thing. I asked for 1 year. 1 year where I'm not doing anything, just thinking about what I'm going to do with my life. I tried to explain them the reason why. Now, I could see in their eyes that they were somehow worried. Maybe they saw that I was depressed, anxious, and so they said yes. But also, a few months before that, I had made a request to them. I wanted them to buy for me a camera. They also knew that I always liked taking pictures of them, my sisters, my brother, my neighbors, and that's how I got my first ever professional camera. Maybe they never knew it, but by doing that, they made a very huge shift in my life. And the same day I got that camera, I went outside and took pictures of every single thing. I could always call my friends on the weekends and we'd take pictures, do some crazy videos here and there. For a very long time, I finally felt like I was doing something I genuinely love. At the same time, there was a new marketing agency in town that was looking for a freelance videographer and editor. And since it was just starting, so I had to shoot the videos for the clients, but also edit 50% of them. To be honest, at first, I didn't care that much about the money or the salary I could make. All that matters for me was shooting, editing, telling stories, that's all. But then since I remembered that I had bills to pay, we had to decide on a certain salary that I could have on a monthly basis. And we agreed around $600 or $700-ish. I was like, it's okay. I'm just getting started. And as long as I'm learning and practicing this craft. And that's how I started being paid, at least on paper. Because a few months after that day, due to some internal client mismanagement, the agency had to pause for a while. Pausing activities means no job, and no job means no salary. And remember I told you that I was paid on paper. And what I was meaning by that was that I worked for 7 months in the agency, but when everything paused, I was out with $0. Because the truth is, I ended up never being paid for 7 months of full-time freelance work. Simply put, I walked away with $0. Actually, less than $0 because at that time I was borrowing money from my young brother who was already working at the university. But also our parents came back in to pay for us rent and food. So that's how I found myself shooting weddings here and there just to make the ends meet. But before anything else, I want to be clear and honest. I was grateful for that job. That's where I learned how to edit videos, how to color grade, how to work under pressure, how to satisfy the clients. So I want to get this one out of the way. Thank you to the agency. No salary, but thank you. So whenever I didn't have any work to do, I would find myself always going back to watch the same content creators on YouTube, this time with a bigger audience, bigger community, bigger revenue, bigger businesses, bigger brand deals. And I was like, what am I waiting for? I mean, this time I've got everything. I got a camera, I got a microphone, I got some lighting equipment and everything. But also deep down in me somewhere, I knew that I wasn't living the life that I wanted to live. So something had to change. So I made a decision. I should stop just feeling sorry for myself and instead Ask questions that matters, not the usual how to start that I've been asking myself over the past 4 years, but rather what can I do with what I've got to start creating content? Meaning, what can I do with the gear I got, the experience I got working at the marketing agency, my ability to think in structures that I developed when doing computer science, my ability to overcome challenges that I developed when creating softwares, but also everything I learned, the editing, the filming, the color grading, the sound designing, the lighting techniques I learned over the past 4 years. And that's when I discovered that I had everything I needed this time to start. And so that simple shift I made into the kind of questions I asked myself changed everything. Not because this time I had a perfect plan, but because I discovered that I don't need anyone's permission to start. Now, I know for sure that I'm not the only one in this case. I know that thousands and thousands of other people have been in the same situation like me. You wanted to create something meaningful for your life. You wanted to live and make money off of your passion. You wanted to build something meaningful for yourself and not for others only. If that's you, then this video was really for you, and I want you to learn something right now. You don't know how much I wish the younger version of myself to land on such video. I wish he knew that he didn't need anyone's permission to start. I'm making this video also for anyone who might be in the same situation like me 6 years ago, facing this same challenge, who want to create meaningful things, who want to build this career while doing what you love. If this is your case, then this video is also for you. And please, trust me when I say that you don't need to wait for years, because the only way to be ready is to start, is to mess up, is to make an imperfect video, then iterate and learn how to do it better and better. Trust me, that's the only way of learning. Watching thousands and thousands of YouTube videos won't help you, but just stress you, because you will feel like the more you consume, the less ready you will feel. So I want this channel to be the proof that you can start something even when you're not ready. And so if this video speaks to you, feel free to leave a like, to comment, and obviously to subscribe so that this message can reach more and more people. So until the next time, see you.